rise of the Ottoman Empire was not the result of sudden conquest, but the outcome of careful planning carried out over generations. If Osman Gazi laid the first stone of the Ottoman state, then Orhan Gazi transformed that foundation into a functioning and durable structure. His reign marked the moment when a small frontier principality began to resemble a true state with institutions, laws, and permanent military power. Orhan Gazi did not merely expand territory, he organized society, strengthened governance, and opened the path that would later lead the Ottomans into Europe. Early life and accession to power, Orhan Gazi was born in Soğut, likely around the year 1281, during a time when Anatolia was divided among many rival powers. He was raised in an environment of constant struggle, learning both warfare and leadership from his father, Osman Gazi. When Osman Gazi died around 1323 or 1324, Orhan succeeded him without internal conflict. According to Ottoman tradition, Orhan offered to share authority with his brother Alaeddin Ali Pasha. Alaeddin refused, arguing that division would weaken the state. Instead, he chose to support Orhan as an advisor, a decision that preserved unity at a critical moment. Character and leadership style. Orhan Gazi ruled with patience, restraint, and discipline. He was not known for dramatic gestures or reckless campaigns. Instead, he preferred steady progress and careful planning. Contemporary accounts describe him as a ruler who regularly inspected fortresses, listened to scholars, and remained involved in administration, rather than isolating himself in luxury. Despite controlling vast lands and resources, he lived modestly and viewed power as a responsibility rather than a privilege. Early expansion in Anatolia. At the beginning of his reign, Orhan Gazi focused on securing northwestern Anatolia, much of which was still under Byzantine control. He captured Mudanya, giving the Ottomans access to the Sea of Marmara and strengthening trade connections. The conquest of Bursa was a turning point. Rather than destroying the city, Orhan made it his capital and transformed it into an administrative and cultural center. From Bursa, Ottoman authority expanded toward Iznik and Izmit, gradually surrounding the remaining Byzantine strongholds. The Battle of Peloponnesus. In 1329, Byzantine Emperor Andronikos III personally led an army to halt Ottoman expansion. The two forces met near Peloponnesus, close to present-day Istanbul. Orhan's army, better organized and more disciplined, defeated the Byzantines decisively. This battle marked the end of Byzantine military resistance in Anatolia. After this defeat, the Byzantine Empire never again attempted to confront the Ottomans in open battle on Anatolian soil. Bursa, as the first Ottoman capital. Following its conquest, Bursa became the heart of the Ottoman state. Orhan Gazi invested in the city's development, building mosques, schools, public baths, and markets. These constructions were not only architectural achievements, but symbols of stability and governance. Bursa became a model Islamic city and demonstrated that the Ottomans were not merely conquerors, but rulers capable of administering urban life. Administrative development. Orhan Gazi understood that conquest without organization would lead to instability. During his reign, the Ottoman state began to take a more formal shape. Judicial authority was separated from military command, ensuring fair administration of justice. Officials were appointed to manage finances and governance, and coins were minted in Orhan's name, symbolizing sovereignty. These measures marked the transition from tribal leadership to a structured state system. Formation of a standing army. One of Orhan Gazi's most significant contributions was the creation of a permanent army. Before his reign, Ottoman forces consisted mainly of volunteers who gathered for campaigns and dispersed afterward. Under Orhan, with the advice of Aladdin Ali Pasha and Kara Halil Chandarlı, a standing army of paid and trained soldiers was established. Infantry units were kept in constant readiness, giving the Ottomans a decisive advantage over rivals who still relied on temporary forces. The Janissary system. To strengthen discipline and loyalty within the military, Orhan approved a system that later evolved into the Janissary Corps. Young boys taken from conquered regions were educated, trained, and placed in service to the state. This system produced soldiers and administrators whose loyalty was to the ruler and the state, rather than to tribal or regional interests. In its early form, this institution played a key role in Ottoman success. Conquest of the Janissary Beylik. In 1345, Orhan Gazi annexed the Janissary Beylik, a neighboring Turkish principality. This conquest was strategically vital because it brought Ottoman territory closer to the Dardanelles and provided naval experience. With this expansion, nearly all of northwestern Anatolia came under Ottoman control, preparing the ground for future moves into Europe. Relations with the Byzantine Empire. Orhan maintained complex and shifting relations with Byzantium. He married Theodora, daughter of Byzantine Emperor John VI Kantakousenos, in a political alliance common for the era. This marriage allowed Ottoman forces to cross into Europe as allies during Byzantine civil wars. While the alliance brought short-term cooperation, it also enabled the Ottomans to establish a lasting presence on European soil. Entry into Europe. A powerful earthquake devastated the city of Gallipoli, leaving it largely abandoned. Orhan's son, Süleyman Pasha, occupied the city and its fortress without resistance. This event marked the first permanent Ottoman foothold in Europe. Turkish settlers were brought in, and Gallipoli became a base for further expansion into the Balkans. This moment changed the course of both Ottoman and European history. Süleyman Pasha and Balkan expansion. Süleyman Pasha emerged as the leading commander of Ottoman expansion in Europe. He organized settlements, secured supply routes, and led campaigns in Thrace. His leadership laid the foundations of Ottoman rule in the Balkans. His sudden death in 1357, after falling from a horse, was a severe blow to Orhan Gazi and altered the line of succession. Later years of Orhan Gazi. In his later years, Orhan gradually withdrew from active leadership and entrusted much of the administration to his son Murad. During this period, personal tragedies struck his family. His son Halil was kidnapped by pirates and later returned after a heavy ransom was paid. Internal tensions following Orhan's death led to further loss within the family, reflecting the harsh realities of medieval succession. Death and burial. Orhan Gazi died in 1362 in Bursa at nearly 80 years of age, after ruling for approximately 36 years. He was buried in Bursa in a tomb that still stands today, symbolizing the era in which the Ottoman state transformed from a frontier principality into a regional power. Legacy. Orhan Gazi's legacy lies not only in territory gained, but in systems created. He established the institutions that allowed the Ottoman state to survive and expand long after his death. His reign provided stability, organization, and direction. Without Orhan Gazi, the later achievements of the Ottoman Empire would not have been possible. Conclusion. Osman Gazi founded a vision, but Orhan Gazi turned that vision into reality. Through patience, organization, and foresight, he shaped the Ottoman state into a durable power. His quiet strength and careful leadership demonstrate that empires are not built by conquest alone, but by structure, discipline, and long-term planning.